Am I the antagonist for arguing with my partner for booking a flight to Belgium without me and without telling me? To provide some context, we have been dating for about a year and a half. During this time, he has been unemployed, and for the past 3 months, he's been borrowing money from me and asking me to buy him clothing, close to $1,500 now. He recently just got a minimum wage job and has been bringing in money slowly but surely, but of course has not been able to pay me back at all. I wasn't rushing him, of course, but I did want to have at least some of my hard-earned money back. A week ago, he said he spent all the $400 he earned so far at his job on something. I pretty much know how much money he has since he had $0 a few months ago, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. 2 days ago, I asked again, and he told me he spent it on a flight to Belgium late April because his friend is in school there and he can stay at his dorm for free, and he didn't tell me right away because he knew I'd get mad. I got upset for a few reasons. We talked about traveling together to Europe, and I was always so excited for him to be my travel buddy, and that he finally could now because he was getting some money together for once. He had also just gotten this job, and it didn't seem right to spend it on a plane ticket right away instead of saving it and paying me back. I was also upset because this particular friend in the past was essentially using my boyfriend and trying to get him to talk to his ex-girlfriend again so that he, the friend, could get with one of her friends. I'm not trusting of him for that reason. Lastly, I discussed that I would want to go with him in the summer, but he said the tickets are cheaper now, and we'd need a hotel, and I said that by the time the summer comes, he would have enough money with me combined to afford it. He knew that I cannot go with him late April as our spring breaks don't align. I just feel abandoned and I don't even know. I flipped out and said, "This is done. Have fun with your weird-ass friend. I hope you know that you won't know what I'm doing while you're gone." He got really upset and said I make him feel paranoid and shitty. I know I shouldn't have said that. I would never cheat on him or do anything sketchy, but I was just so angry. I'm no longer sure if I am justified in starting a fight because he is not speaking to me, and I know that means he is really upset this time. Am I the a-hole? Am I the antagonist? While it's great that your boyfriend finally got a job and is making some money, it's understandable that you're feeling frustrated about him not paying you back and spending it on a trip to Belgium instead. It's okay to be upset about this situation, especially since you were looking forward to traveling together. Communication is key in any relationship, so it's important to express your feelings calmly and discuss any issues that arise. It might be a good idea to have an open and honest conversation with your boyfriend about your concerns and see if there is a way to work things out. Just remember, relationships are about compromise and understanding, so try to find a solution that works for both of you. And hey, if he ends up not paying you back, at least you'll have a good reason to break up with him. Free trip to Belgium, right? Am I the antagonist for wondering if my ex is sending me mixed signals? My ex and I broke up a few months ago, but we've still been in touch occasionally. Recently, they've been acting in a way that makes me think they might want to get back together. They've been asking to hang out more often and have been very flirty in their messages. I'm confused because I don't want to read too much into their behavior and get my hopes up, only to be disappointed. I don't want to ask them directly about their intentions and make things awkward between us either. So am I the antagonist for feeling confused about my ex's mixed signals? So, got broken up with 1 month ago today. And I think my ex has acted immature and quite frankly mean. She broke up because of my jealousy and I don't blame her for that. But she broke up over the phone, refused to see me face to face and hung up. Then, as I texted her to get some explanation, she ghosted me. 1 week later, without contacting her, I sent her an email saying I respect her decision. I realize my wrongs, and that she is strong for doing what is right for her. I had by then begun a life-transforming work on my issues. Then I didn't contact her again until one day, she called me and wanted to meet to say goodbye. I agreed, seeing it as a chance to apologize for my behavior, but when we met, she wanted to hold my hand, kiss me, and sleep with me, and telling me she loved me so much, and that she will reach out when she is ready for a potentially new go at USES. Very confusing to me, emotionally, but I carried on with my work and not contacting her. 2 days later, she texted me about giving her access to an account I created for her, and she said she really cherished our time the other day. Later that day, I got an intense sadness over me and called her just to talk, hear her voice. She said, "Let me reach out to you." Fair enough. 1 week later, I had been thinking a lot about her, but it felt so counterproductive for me to go around hoping. So I called her to say that maybe she should just tell me if she doesn't see a new try in the horizon. She told me that she just needs time. 2 weeks go by, I do not contact her, but decided to check her Instagram to see if she's okay. I am blocked. I feel panic and call her, my number is blocked too, and I find out that she's already talking to a new guy. She does get back to me the next morning saying, "I knew you would contact me, so I blocked you." Am I the asshole because I contacted her those times? Was this not very mixed signals and quite mean? For context, during our relationship, she could say things like, "Don't you love me anymore?" But if I said things like "I love you" too many times per day, she would push away and get cold. It sounds like you've been through a roller coaster of emotions with your ex. I must say, her behavior does seem a bit erratic, like trying to play emotional ping pong with you. It's good that you recognized your jealousy as an issue and started working on it. I would say you're not the asshole for trying to communicate with her, especially since she gave you mixed signals like a malfunctioning traffic light. Blocking you without warning seems a bit extreme though. In the end, it might be best to focus on your personal growth and move forward from this confusing situation. And who knows, maybe this new guy of hers is just a rebound, a temporary placeholder until she figures out her own emotions. Keep your chin up and remember, there are plenty of fish in the sea, and hopefully, they're all better at communication than your ex. Am I the antagonist for asking my partner to slow down with their tattoos? We are both extremely young, being 17 years old female and 17 years old male. Alex, not his real name, has recently got back in contact with one of his old friends who he has learned does tattoos. For a while now, he has wanted to be covered in tattoos. I don't mind this if our relationship does actually go somewhere. I love tattoos and want some for myself one day. My concern is just Alex has gotten so many in such a short amount of time. He got his first tattoo on April 1st and is going for his 5th one today, April 11th. Not only has he gotten 5 tattoos, but 2 piercings. Alex didn't mention getting these to me before he got them and even told me he probably wouldn't get any since he wants to get back into fighting. We have gone back and forth a lot over this and have argued so much since Alex has become friends with this girl again. He admitted to it being an addiction like weed because it's fun. I love that he is expressing his interests in this way, but I'm worried because he's doing it so quickly. Alex never shows me the designs before he gets them and just sends me a photo when it's done. I've asked him to slow down because he's getting so many. He's even planning on getting 2 more very soon. Alex hasn't even told his family, which he is really close to. I have no issue with how they look anymore as they've grown on me, and he is really attractive with them. I'm terrified because this is my first real relationship in over a year since my last ex abused me mentally, sexually, and emotionally. I feel stupid for crying over this situation, and I know I worry a lot. But every time I try to talk to him about it, he tells me it's not that deep. He is so sweet in every other manner and truly the best guy I've been with. He just doesn't want to listen when I tell him to slow down, so he can really think about what he's doing. So I guess my question is, I'm sorry if this is hard to read by the way, it's just hard to explain, and I'm still pretty emotional about it. Well, it seems like Alex is on a fast track to becoming the next Picasso, but with tattoos instead of paint. It's great that he's expressing himself creatively, but at lightning speed. Sounds like he's more committed to his ink than some people are to their morning coffee routine. On a serious note, it's understandable why you're concerned about the pace he's going at. Communication is key in a relationship, so it's important that you address your worries with him. Maybe gently remind him that Rome wasn't tattooed in a day, and that slowing down a bit could prevent any tattoo-induced regrets in the future. It's important for both of you to be on the same page about this, especially considering your past experiences. Remember, it's okay to express your feelings and concerns in a relationship, even if Alex thinks it's not that deep. Open and honest communication is crucial. You got this. Am I the antagonist for asking my friend to cut our trip shorter by a few hours? I, female 40, came to help my friend, female 70, with a procedure 2 hours away from home because she needed somebody to accompany her and stay with her through the night. I had told her from the beginning that the next day I would have an international trip and that I would need to leave early to go back home and then come back to the airport. She had said yes and that I was her only option. I eventually had to postpone the international trip for reasons unrelated to this, but my time commitments still require me to be back. Here is the thing, my friend is an incredible slob. I had not realized how bad things were, but she probably needs professional help. It is impossible to spend time with her and share space while keeping my peace of mind. I had to share a hotel room with her because it was doctor recommended, but it took a serious toll on me. Please, do not read if you are squeamish. I am a germaphobe, and she has spent half her year fighting an antibiotic-resistant bacterium from a urinary tract infection. Honestly, the one time I visited her place, her toilet was the dirtiest I have ever seen. I honestly do not use the bathroom since we got into this hotel room yesterday. I prefer public toilets. She doesn't even use a soap. Today I caught her taking off her dentures in her really dirty car and just cleaning them with her fingers. On top of that, even though the trip was for less than 48 hours, she brought with her 3 suitcases and 2 carry-ons with food and unpacked everything, leaving me such little space in the hotel room. And still, the only little space I had left my stuff on, she just sat there while I was taking a shower and just started sneezing on them without covering her mouth. So, all of this is making me very nervous and worried, and I have been in extreme levels of anxiety for the last 36 hours. In any case, because she has so much stuff always, it takes her forever to leave if she goes somewhere. Whenever she travels, she has delayed her departure for days because she is too intimidated to pack her stuff. But while I wanted to help her, I have things to do. I work from home but a 9-5 job, she doesn't. So at first, I had told her that while I would rather be home by 9 a.m., that would have us leave at 7 a.m., I could delay our departure by a couple of hours and leave around 10 a.m. But I could see she was already scheming to delay our departure. So in the end, I told her I would rather leave by 7:30 a.m. She got very upset and started packing, it's 11 p.m., and told me that she did not sleep last night because she was worried about her operation. And now she has to sleep soon because we have to leave at 7:30 a.m. and that she would have made other arrangements if I had told her sooner. But I had told her sooner. Obviously, I do not see how I can save this friendship. But am I the asshole? Am I the antagonist? First of all, let me assure you, you are definitely not the arse in this situation. You swooped in to help your friend in need, and that's commendable. However, it seems like you stumbled into a bit of a cleanliness war zone. From dirty toilets to unsanitary denture cleaning methods, it's no wonder you've been on high alert for the past 36 hours. Your friend's packing procrastination also seems like a comedy of errors in the making. We all have our quirks, but when it starts impacting your sanity and schedule, it's time to draw the line. It's clear that communication breakdowns have played a role here, but it sounds like you did your best to set boundaries and expectations from the get-go. Your friend's assumption that deadlines are merely suggestions might be a tough nut to crack. In the end, it might be time to have a heart-to-heart with your friend about your concerns and boundaries. It's crucial to prioritize your well-being, even in the midst of friendship trials and dirty toilet tribulations. Remember, a little humor and honesty can go a long way in salvaging the situation. Am I the antagonist for accepting help with cleaning from a friend? I, female, 38, have been participating in workaway programs on and off for some months with a man, 55, in my home country. We've developed a good friendship and have been planning projects and adventures together. I have gotten the feeling that he really likes me as a friend, and he tells me all the time how impressed he is by the work I'm doing. So when I was about to leave from my last stay, and just about to finish cleaning the guest house, another man who lives on the property, a close friend of the owner, who has also become a very close friend of mine, told me not to sweep mop the floor, that he'll do it after I leave. I thought, why not? He had also spent time in there, and since he offered, sure, a few days later, I got a message from the owner, cheerfully telling me I'm welcome to come back whenever, even if he's not around. Then, like 2 minutes later, I get another message where he tells me he just went into the guest house, and it's a complete mess, and he knows that the other man had offered to sweep mop, but that it doesn't matter because he feels that I mocked him by not doing it myself. And now the other man didn't do it right away, which really upset him. So he told me that I'm not welcome back ever again, and he just cut all contact with me. And that's it. I tried to apologize and explain that I would never leave it like that our friend offered to do the sweeping just when I was about to, and that I'm really sorry for how it turned out. The friend also talked to him, explained that it was him who offered and insisted to do it, and then didn't have the time to do it right away. But he just ignores everything and calls me manipulative and says that I am trying to justify what I have done, even though I just apologized like 10 times. Am I missing something here? Am I the asshole? Am I the antagonist? P.S. Dykes. I suspect a factor could be his super jealous ex, who hangs around there all the time, as she attacked me verbally a few weeks ago for no reason at all, told me to fuck off and get out of the house for no other reason than me being a woman, I guess. The other people there saw what happened and explained to me that she is like that, and I did nothing wrong, but I definitely didn't feel comfortable in that environment anymore since then. So maybe this is for the best. I'm just fucking confused as I'm being accused of all these things when I feel I just did an honest mistake. Well, it sounds like you stumbled into a bit of a messy situation there, literally and figuratively. It seems like a simple miscommunication escalated into a dramatic fallout. Your intentions were good, but unfortunately, things got lost in translation. It's unfortunate that the owner reacted so strongly, especially after you tried to apologize and clarify the situation. It's clear there may be some underlying issues there, possibly fueled by his jealous ex's antics. In the grand scheme of things, it seems like a classic case of crossed wires and unintended consequences. You're not the asshole in this scenario, just caught in a whirlwind of misunderstandings and emotions. As for your next steps, maybe some time away from the drama will provide some clarity. Keep your chin up, learn from this experience, and maybe next time, just grab that broom and take charge of that messy floor yourself. Or not. Who knows, maybe that's how broom wars start. Am I the antagonist for admitting I have the biggest crush on my friend's adoptive mother? Excuse my grammar. People involved. Mark, 21 years old. Maggie, 28-29, might be 30. Mark's little sister. I've been friends with Mark since we were 3. When Mark was around 12 years old, his mother gave birth to his little sister, and things got really bad at home. Their dad left, and their mother just wasn't really there. That's all I can say as it's Mark's life. Mark and I would usually go from school to his sister's nursery. We'd get there around 3:4, and his sister wouldn't finish till 5, due to their mother's working hours. I'd just wait with Mark. He was offered to come to my house but wouldn't. Mark's little sister's teacher, Maggie, a mouthful of a sentence, noticed, and I feel like she was the only one who genuinely advocated for Mark and his sister. She was at the time 18-19, I feel 20 at most. It got to the point where social services were involved, and there was talk of Mark and his sister going to a home. Maggie stepped up. She was married to an older man. He was like 34 at this time, somehow still married, and somehow got to foster Mark and his sister. I don't know how, but eventually Mark's mother signed over rights of Mark and his sister to Maggie and her husband, thus them being Mark's adoptive parents. Maggie is genuinely the kindest woman I know. She's a devoted mother, She does volunteer work and she just has this warmth to her that I've never found in anyone else. She's also exactly my type. Or is my type her? Whatever. Well, we were celebrating Mark's adoption day when I made a comment saying I always wanted to be adopted by Maggie because I have the biggest crush on her. Mark laughed, and Maggie sort of said she's too old for me. The only one who's not cool with it is my girlfriend. I've been with her for 4 years, and she knew Maggie was my first crush, but she pointed out, I said have, and that it's different. Embarrassing admitting it in front of Maggie. She's not speaking to me and Mark is on her side, which honestly is new, as they never get along and he didn't have an issue with it. Am I the asshole? Am I the antagonist? First of all, let me just say that the plot twist of Maggie becoming the adoptive parent after being Mark's little sister's teacher is straight out of a telenovela. I mean, who needs soap operas when you have real-life drama like this? Am I right? In all seriousness, it sounds like you have a deep admiration for Maggie. And hey, who can blame you? She sounds like the real MVP in this story. But I can also see how your girlfriend might feel a bit uncomfortable with you expressing your crush in front of everyone, especially if she's been with you for 4 years. Maybe next time you can keep your admiration for Maggie on the down low, like a secret ingredient in a recipe that only you know about. At the end of the day, relationships are all about communication and understanding each other's feelings. So take some time to have a heart-to-heart with your girlfriend and reassure her that your crush on Maggie is just a harmless admiration and that she's the one who has your heart. And hey, who knows, maybe Maggie will take you in as her honorary quirky cousin or something. Just remember, in the game of love and crushes, keep your cards close to your chest but your heart open. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.